As my ALS progresses, I notice various things, changes. One of the biggest changes that is continuous is how much heavier every single thing weighs. For me to lift up my iPad, it feels like I am picking up a brick. Or if I'm picking up my laptop, it feels like I'm picking up a very heavy cinder block. I mean, it just feels incredibly heavy to me. The covers at night. Now that it's cold, of course, we have to have warmer blankets on. So I have a lightweight, I do mean a very lightweight down comforter. That thing feels like it is one of those heavy blankets people like to get now. Uh, I would never be able to tolerate one of those even before this disease. But anyway, um, so the blanket made me feel like I was being crushed. So a lot of times I would have to get it off of me at nighttime, which is very difficult because it feels heavy. So it's like a struggle for me to get it off. And then if I get cold, of course, I've then got to struggle to put it back on. So we changed over to um, some lightweight fleece kind of blankets, and even that is heavy to me. And it makes it difficult. I have a hard time rolling over. I have hardly any strength to be able to just roll over like people do all the time. For me to roll over, I have to wake up. I have to adjust the covers to allow me to roll over. I have to lift my legs, grab the headboard, and twist myself over. And most of the time, I hurt myself doing it. And of course, it takes a lot of strength and it exerts me a great deal to do it. So I have to do this several times throughout the night because I'm in so much pain from laying in one spot for very long. So more to look forward to in that in the future. So back to the weight thing. So even just having a sheet on me feels very heavy. My clothes, and I wear very basic pajamas, t-shirts, sweatpants, lightweight sweatpants too. Um, it all feels extremely heavy to me. It feels like I'm just being just weighted down. They're all soaking wet, which they're not. My jackets make me feel even more so. I feel like I'm being crushed because my body wants to just give in on itself. And so lifting up a glass, it feels extremely heavy to have to pick it up. And a lot of times I end up having to hold it with both hands because if I don't, I'm going to drop it. Because anything heavy in my hands, more than a few pounds, it's going to fall right out. I have no way of keeping it in my hands. Um, Using a fork, not only does it feel heavy, but my dexterity is going, so it makes it difficult for me to eat, and it's getting more and more so. And then walking around, I feel like my legs are just full of lead. Like I cannot lift my feet hardly at all. My legs just it just feels very heavy. My arms feel heavy to lift, to have to move and open a refrigerator or go to the bathroom. It's almost impossible for me to flush the toilet. It's just ridiculous how much strength it takes for me to use, for example, an aerosol can. You don't think anything about it. Use them all the time. I go to try to press on it. It's like it's locked. I can't use it. It's kids proof. It is difficult for anybody with disabilities to be able to use those things. So there needs to be some better solutions for that. But I digress. So everything feels heavy to me. my body just feels like it wants to just lay down. But when I lay down or I sit down, I still feel like there's a lot of weight on me. Like gravity is just decided it wants to beat my ass up, and it's doing a good job because it is hard for me to do everything because everything just feels so heavy and so difficult to do because it is a constant struggle because of it's difficult to lift, it's difficult to move. So it just I can't even explain it to you enough that this disease is just it's horrible. It is a horrible, horrible thing because it does things to you that, your brain, and this is the big problem for me. My brain knows that I am capable of doing all of these things, standing up, walking, picking up things, opening things, you name it. My body has been doing it for years and years and years. And now it's like I'm back, my body is sort of going back to like the baby stage where you don't have balance, you don't have the ability, you don't have a lot of strength. Those are all things that you have to build up as you're growing. Well, I'm going in the reverse, and I'm losing all that, and it scares the daylights out of me because I feel like I'm being crushed into this chair even right now. It's uncomfortable for me. Um, so I'm not sure how it's going to be when I lose all of my ability to move. How is it going to feel? How's those covers going to feel? How are my clothes going to feel then? These are all the things that I'm constantly thinking about because I have to think of what's ahead and try to mentally prepare myself for this. And it is a difficult thing to prepare yourself because you just don't know when it's going to be and how bad it's going to be. And so, the weight of it all.